It was cold, dark, and deserted. Only decay, fungi, and molds were able to reproduce under such conditions. There was no food for dinosaurs on the planet. Countless animals and occasional dinosaur eggs have been preserved intact somewhere underground. Young individuals hatched from them after some time. Tiny groups of dinosaurs emerged. But cold weather, hunger, and disease contributed to their final demise. The era of dinosaurs came to an end. The Cenozoic era began. The dust clouds dissipated over the planet over the course of several decades, and heat and sunlight were finally able to reach the surface. Nature revived from the ruins. First, huge horsetails and ferns emerged yet again. They were closely followed by ferns and grass. Other animals who had been dominated by dinosaurs for millions of years were ready to march bravely.
The enemy is banning.
Mammals. Some of them survived the disaster in underground burrows. Others stayed on trees. They've become well adapted to extreme conditions, were quick to reproduce, and
Kalaro namin si Rapi Tulpo.
they
Wow!
were guaranteed to thrive on a renewed planet.
The enemy is picking.
The success of mammalian
Kalaro
evolution
namin si
led
Rapi
to the
Tulpo.
emergence of Homo sapiens, who is now the dominant species
Ay,
on Earth.
wala mong magawa siguro yung senador. Naglalaro
We're
siya.
a long way from setting the dinosaurs' record, as it's been a few million years since we've conquered the world. Only time will show.
Ba, si Rapi Tulpo kinuha yung ano ko. Yun. Jordan. Saan ko yung Jordan to eh.
1960.
Namin yan. Yun na, Mimi pa, Mimi. Kasi. Balik ka din. Balik ka din. Ito, medya ko. Ano ni? Huwag makulit. Bawa, tigam.
So special. The strange composition of
Ginising ni Jordan.
suggests that we're dealing with evidence of artificial interference. Perhaps someone is using the star as a radioactive waste dumping ground. Someone intelligent, and it's certainly not us. In this video, we'll talk about the strangest and most mysterious star in the history of space research. Perhaps the evidence of highly intelligent extraterrestrial life has always been literally before our very eyes. Chim star.
Yun lang, Ralph.
So, what caught the attention and surprised Anthony Chim in that distant year?
Aray.
This star is extremely abundant in chemical
Huwag
elements.
na malikot kasi. Pag malikot, ayaw ko eh.
Metals are much heavier than iron. They are extremely rare, not only on Earth, but in space at large. In the periodic table of elements, the lanthanide are highlighted in a separate line at the bottom. They are called rare earth elements for their exceptionally low natural concentration. Well, so what? What's so special? The fact is, such an amount of these elements can't be explained by any natural law. And the concentration of one of the elements seems extremely improbable. This is holmium, a heavy metal close in the density to platinum and gold. Holmium is vanishing with rare on Earth, which is why its properties are very poorly understood. So this metal hasn't been found at all on any other space body, except for Przybylski's star. It seems that this star has all the holmium of our galaxy. But there's more to it. Przybylski's star also contains many short-lived radioactive materials. These are heavy and very unstable elements that quickly decay into lighter, more stable atoms, which is why they are called short-lived. Now, let's take a closer look. The presence of technetium and promethium has certainly been detected on this star, and the longest-lived promethium isotope known has a half-life of just 17.7 years. What does it mean? It means that half of the original volume of matter decays within 17.7 years. In the next 17.7 years, half of the remaining half, and so on. Roughly speaking, the amount of matter remaining after 10 such half-lives is insignificant. That is, this matter should have almost disappeared in the star over the course of 177 years. But it is still there. And the probability that humanity caught those 177 years out of 1.5 billion years of the star's existence when these elements are there is negligible. But this is where it gets really frustrating. The thing is that nothing heavier than iron can be formed in stars due to regular thermonuclear reactions. But there are a lot of such elements here. Well, invented the star from the outside during its formation, but not promethium. With a half-life of 17.7 years, all promethium would have evaporated 1.5 billion years ago. But here it is. To put this into perspective, uranium-235, which is used in nuclear reactors, has a half-life of 700 million years, and its more stable counterpart, uranium-238, is 4.5 billion years old. By the way, this is the age of the sun. Considering these numbers, 17.7 years in promethium's half-life seems like an instant. And here's where scientists need to think outside the box. How can we explain where these elements come from?
Oh. Aray.
Several hypotheses have been proposed to explain the unusual properties of Przybylski's star. The first hypothesis is the most conservative and largely boils down to the worn-out idea that we simply don't know or understand something yet. Proponents of this hypothesis insist that this is just a special AP star. AP is a special type of star called peculiar. Chemically peculiar stars is an established scientific term. But Przybylski's star is strange even by peculiar standards. Although it has a powerful magnetic field typical of AP stars, its spectrum is too unlike that of other AP stars. The iron lines in the spectrum of AP stars are very small, but this is not observed at all in Przybylski's star. Even Przybylski himself initially assumed that the star didn't contain iron at all. This is one of the unresolved difficulties in interpreting HD 101065 as an AP star. And so far, there seems to be no explanation. This theory doesn't solve the problem of the presence of short-lived elements at all. In 2008, another group of scientists proposed a different hypothesis. Its authors claimed that the star has a pulsar companion, and thermonuclear reactions occur in the star's atmosphere under the influence of its X-ray and electron-positron radiation. As a result, heavy elements, which are usually formed only in supernova explosions, are synthesized in the star's upper atmosphere.
Tears and laughter.
However,
Such
the presence of
extravagant
a
praises.
nearby massive pulsar companion has not been currently confirmed by observation. The hypothesis didn't pan out. Much more interesting theories suggest that the star contains some long-lived nuclides from the island of stability, such as rowena or made of 304, and they were large short-lived actinides and the forms of these atoms, which are secular equilibrium with their parents. Hold on a second. What on earth is an island of stability? What daughters and parents? What is singular equilibrium? We'll help you get a hold of these concepts. Let's go back to the school chemistry course. In the table of chemical elements, everything goes in ascending order of complexity. The table starts with hydrogen.
Wow,
This
naman
is
ito
the
yan.
simplest element that has one proton and one electron. And such structure is the strongest and most reliable one. Then the atoms
Pok!
There's no
complex. The last single element is left. The atoms of the elements following
Our
lead
turret
become
has
so
been
complex
destroyed.
that they can collapse and turning into simpler
Allies
elements
flame
while
the
emitting
turtle.
radiation of individual particles.
Time does
This
not
is
erase.
radioactivity. Since 2003, even bismuth, which was previously considered stable, has been considered radioactive. The heaviest element in the table, radiation, is unofficially maintained by scientists. Its atom exists in less than 1 the less stable other hypothetical elements will be. That's why they don't occur in nature. But there's much more to it than that. Since the 60s, there has been a theory suggesting that behind these super heavy and highly unstable elements, there should be a so-called island of stability. This is a hypothetical sequence that includes currently unknown elements. They are also extremely complex, but at the same time, they live not for fractions of a second, but for years, or even millions of years. And this is not a speculation, but a solid and well-founded scientific theory. So, let's go back to Shkylsky's star. Some scientists suggest that the short-lived actinides in the star's spectrum are decay products of heavier elements, the very ones from the island of stability. And the fact that the actinides themselves don't disappear from the spectrum is a result of the secular equilibrium mentioned earlier. This is a peculiar situation in the interaction of radioactive chemicals. The amount of radioactive isotope remains constant because its formation rate is equal to the rate of its decay. Long-lived, unknown elements from the island of stability constantly feed the massive actinides with their own decay. Okay, let's assume it's true. Then the question remains, where did these islanders come from? And here we come to another hypothesis ignored by so many other scientists. Only those who have enough scientific courage dare to assume the artificial origin of all the oddities of Shkylsky's star. Currently, humanity is faced with a huge problem: where to put radioactive waste from nuclear power plants. So far, the problem is being solved by simply disposing waste in the ground or even the ocean floor. But this is an extremely unreliable approach and may become a backhanded gift for the next generations. One of the audacious and Of course, this is extremely expensive and difficult, and unsafe, considering potential accidents. But suppose, after all, humanity used this approach. Now, imagine alien scientists sitting in an observatory of a distant civilization, 100 or 200 light years away, looking in our direction and wondering, what kind of strange spectrum does this otherwise ordinary star have? Where do these heavy elements come from? Or maybe there is a highly advanced civilization using its star to burn radioactive waste. The cycle repeats itself. Very few researchers have the courage not to dismiss this hypothesis, but even fewer dare to speak it out loud. Vladimir Serdin, a well-known Russian astronomer and popularizer of science, definitely has what it takes to speak his mind. He repeatedly voiced the opinion that the radioactive dump hypothesis can't be dismissed. Perhaps this suggests that civilization is nearby. Any culture creates some kind of garbage around itself. When you are on a train, you see a dump, and you are sure that there is a village or small town nearby. Any culture creates waste products as a result of its daily activities. You can't hide them, and they can be seen from afar. So they still would figure out that we exist. And you probably already figured out that we are here. Or maybe we also have figured it out. Who knows? Maybe just a few hundred light years away, there is a civilization that has mastered the industrial production of island of stability elements. Do they dump production waste on a star? After all, we came up with such an idea, even if only theoretical. What are these materials like? Possibly all kinds of adamantiums, unobtainiums, and vibraniums from superhero franchises are not so science fiction after all. Why not? But that's a whole other story.
Ever since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle consciously uncoupled themselves from the royal family, it's felt like the world has been Team Harry and Meghan. But after the release of their Netflix series, has the tide started to turn?
Monster kill. Dispelled. An enemy has been slain. Mega kill. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Enemy double kill. You have slain an enemy. Initiate launch attack. Shame on you. Our turret has been destroyed. You have been slain. Our turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret has been destroyed. turret is under attack.
I'll be the beacon that guides Necroleaf through the dark.
Request backup.
For one day, Necrokeep will bathe the daylight. There's no farther for us to fall.
Launch attack.
This is not the end of us.
Your team destroyed a turret. Enemy double kill. Godlike. Request backup. Push first. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Enemy killing spree.
Despair will be dispelled.
Launch attack. Initiate retreat.
I'll be the beacon that guides Necrokeep through the dark.
Request backup. The enemy has slain Lord. Initiate retreat. Shut down.
For Necrokeep have been slain.
Launch attack. Ally has been slain. Launch attack. An ally has been slain. Our base is under attack. Enemy killing spree.
Defeat.